What's up, gang? Welcome back to DizDad TV, and thank you once again for joining me here on the channel. I do really appreciate it. Today will be another reaction video, and we're checking out the Disney Plus and Marvel series Loki. Today will be episode 2, The Variant. Really looking forward to this. If it's half as good as the first episode, we're in for a treat. I thoroughly enjoyed that first episode. Obviously not a lot of action took place, but a lot of great character developments. The first episode did a really good job of recapping the events from Endgame, progressing from there to establishing the TVA, what it's about, the background. Loved all the cartoon videos and characters. That was fantastic. The whole look of the TVA. Got some history there on those space lizards, I think as Loki called them. Again, a lot of great character development with Loki. He's been around for a number of years, obviously, but they did a great job of breaking his character down, his motivations, why he's done what he's done, his actions. Even though this Loki in particular, as we discussed, has not experienced half of what we've seen in the MCU to this point, since he came out of the timeline just at Avengers. We met Mobius. Again, Owen Wilson, it's a trip to see him in the MCU, but I actually loved it's such an Owen Wilson character here that he's portraying, and you can tell this is Owen Wilson. Has got his hands all over it. But I loved his work in this first episode as well. The back and forth between him and Loki was fantastic, watching them go, the different personalities and how they interact, really well done. We know there's a variant out there that Loki's hunting. A little bit of confusion there initially on who this variant might be. I know we had the picture or the stained glass in the church from the very beginning of the episode, and it was a devil, so that was a little bit misleading. And then we find out that this variant is indeed Loki. So I don't know if the kid maybe saw a variant of Loki that had the helmet on, and maybe the horns threw him off a little bit. So we'll see what happens there. I would assume today's episode will really start to dive into the hunt for this variant that they're looking for, this other Loki that's out there. I'm curious to see at what point in time this Loki left the timeline. So that'll be interesting to see, or where this Loki came from, or who this Loki is. So really curious about that. And with that being said, let's just jump right into it. Okay, Wisconsin is a choice. Is this some kind of Renaissance fair or something? 1985. Okay.
Hi. What's going on? You guys aren't dressed right.
They're a little out of place.
Commander.
Okay, so they're tracking the variant, it appears. Ominous music is never a good sign.
The trap, watch your back.
Oh, what just happened? The music is super interesting here. I'm curious, did Loki take over this agent's body? Oh yeah, there's the green eyes, okay. Oh, there's the knife, the dagger. That's gotta be Loki, right? That cannot be good that now they've got even more TVA tech. And they're taking a prisoner. Here we go.
Okay, y'all, let's review what we've learned.
A jet ski magazine, nice.
Watch it, where's your manners?
Seeing Loki at a desk in an office is too funny. Nice jacket. Is he officially an agent now?
Wendy and her team went dark shortly after they jumped into the 1985 ranch.
They've been a lot of weird places. So they've been, what, Oklahoma? They've been to Wisconsin, Italy.
Let me see the back of that jacket.
Oh. It's like a big kick me sign on the back of his jacket.
I don't want anybody out there to forget what you are.
Oh, you only hope of capturing a murderer.
No, a cosmic mistake.
Yeah, those two do not like each other, or at least she does not like him.
A variation of this guy. A type we should all be very familiar with because the TVA has pruned a lot of these guys, almost more than any other variant.
What?
Although powers generally
All these different
include
Lokis
shape
they've been
shifting,
after
illusion, projection,
at various times, I assume.
circumstance, which acts as a true holographic mirror of its molecular structure. But
You already knew that.
It's very scientific.
Because you already know that we can catch you, and how's betraying us going to get you any closer to the timekeepers?
An audience with the timekeepers is on the table.
Keep that focus. Nexus events destabilize the time flow. This branch is still changing and growing, so you got to show up in real time. Did you watch any of the training videos?
Kind of goes back to the in-game time travel theory.
Reset charges prune the affected radius of a branched timeline, allowing time to heal all its wounds.
At least there we've got a thorough explanation of what the time reset charges do. So I think we established that this variant had at least taken a few of those, I guess, that we've seen on film.
The time variance authority and the gods of Asgard, one and the same. Drunk with power, blinded to the truth. Those you underestimate will devour you.
He sure is talking a lot here. I don't know if he actually knows anything or...
At the moment, the job has been done. Right?
And we'll need to speak to the timekeepers at once. They're in graver danger than we realize.
This is his true motivation. He's trying to get to the timekeepers. Whether he's turned over a new leaf or not, there's still that mischievous part of Loki out there. Oh, wow. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. Basically, obviously, truly reset. So, okay. Timeline reset.
Where'd you get that one, the snow globe?
That is some office.
I don't remember bringing back that case.
Is that roller skates?
Stubborn, unpredictable. Sounds like someone else I know.
I was just thinking it sounds like someone I know.
There is definitely something between these two. Just the back and forth is kind of obvious, even if we don't see it on camera.
So,
And how are the old timekeepers?
how do you think?
So I'm assuming she's met the
because I've never
timekeepers,
met
but Mobius obviously is not. So I'm assuming they keep to themselves a pretty good bit then, in that case.
Or Slayer. I don't remember
Franklin
this.
Roosevelt High School.
Shut up, please. What happened to the guy I met on the elevator who didn't like to talk? Remember him? Now I'm stuck with this guy who won't stop yakking away about what makes a Loki tick. There. I believed, stupidly, that insecure need for validation would motivate you to find the killer. Not because you care about the TVA mission or being a hero, but because you know this variant
Here we go
is
back
better
into
than
the psychology of his motivation and Owen Wilson trying to get into the heart of why he does what he does and getting him to help out.
What? Charm your way in front of the timekeepers, hustle them, and seize control of the
Figured out his
TVA?
plan. I think I'd seen somewhere when this came out, somebody posted didn't get spoiled, but I knew this is a hotel in Atlanta, I think this is. Obviously, those statues are not there, but still, beautiful shot.
I'd like all files pertaining to the creation of the TVA.
Those are classified.
Yeah, I don't think he's just doing this for research purposes, is he? This kind of goes back to his greater purpose for doing what he's doing, why he's helping, I would assume. He's not totally a good guy now. Ugh. That's going to hit him hard. Already has, but it still hits him hard, even if he doesn't let on. Alright, so he's figured out something, obviously.
So, let's just say
What are you doing?
your salad.
That salad is
Asgard.
toast, isn't it? What is that drink?
Assaults Hulk.
And I could also set fire to the palace.
No.
He is totally ruining that salad.
God. You.
Oh,
See, I just need
this poor guy.
a supernova. If everything and everyone around you is destined for imminent destruction.
Interesting. So
then
basically,
nothing that I say
any
or
crazy
do will
disaster,
matter.
if everything's getting destroyed, any variant that shows up, it's not going to detect anything, I'm assuming is what he's saying. So he could create any kind of issues, mischief, do anything they want to at that point in time, and it wouldn't matter because that timeline is going to end or destined to end for, like with Asgard.
You've literally stabbed people in the back like 50 times.
I'd never do it again. Because
I'd never do it again.
this entire town is wiped off the face of its planet. Imagine all that volcanic ash.
I know we don't want to get too giddy.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, destruction is not like a great thing, right? But they're a little giddy about it.
Okay.
Anything we do can impact the course of history. Do you get that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start very small disturbances.
Very small.
Can you make burn?
Loki doesn't do small.
Ad vos omnes. Vos omnes. Morituri est.
So he's doing his best to change the timeline. So we'll see. I guess in theory, nothing should happen to the timeline, right?
How we do?
I don't believe it. Zero variance energy, no branching in the timeline.
So he's right. No matter what he would have done there, doesn't screw up the timeline.
Yeah, the one on jet skis.
Yes. Why'd you have that?
Because they're awesome.
Because they're awesome. Please tell me we're going to see Owen Wilson on a jet ski at some point in this series. We have to, right?
They're toiling away in their chamber, untangling the epilogue from its infinite branches.
I see. So, when they're finished, what happens then?
So are we.
So they are basically constantly working on the timeline, but I guess there's an ultimate ending where they can fix the timeline and there's no branches.
That's where he is.
Alabama 2050.
Alabama in the future. Here we go, another random place.
Just in case.
Oh, is he getting the daggers? Of course not. He's not keeping the daggers. Briefly, got the daggers.
You know what? So keep an eye out for the missing charges. And if you see a Loki,
Alright, so there's a lot of missing charges apparently. Or I guess every time one of these events, they've taken a reset charge. Haven Hills, Alabama. Whoa. This must be a pretty bad storm, obviously. We know it's going to wipe out the area. This is like the Walmart of the future, isn't it?
So I don't announce myself with every squeaky footstep like the rest of you.
Oh, he's so great. Yeah, I don't know how you could ever trust Loki. Even as calm and convincing as he could be. He was watching. Yep, there's our variant.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's okay. It's okay.
what are you doing?
Shopping for plants.
Who shops during a hurricane? That was the Loki.
Oh,
I was checking on her, so it's not all still bad, right?
I'm going to overthrow the timekeepers.
So is this a game or is this
Cards on the
legit?
table.
That's the question.
I could use a qualified lieutenant.
Okay.
Did you give
The timekeepers, where they are.
Oh, wow.
I gave it away how to find them.
So I'm assuming even if they've never met the timekeepers, the TVA knows how to find them. That could be need to know knowledge, obviously.
I miss Randy.
I think I would miss Randy too. Randy was a little less violent. Will the real Loki please stand up? Female Loki, no way. Nice. Oh wow. How many reset charges is that? In one place? Where are they going? Oh no. Oh man, how many timelines are they creating here? That was it. They were getting all those reset charges to create all these new timelines. Is he gonna follow? He is. Oh wow. Oh, these endings are killing me. Oh my gosh. Another great episode. Hey gang, future me here. Noticed the change in wardrobe. Noticed when I was going through my episode 2 footage that had a bit of a snafu, and apparently my post-episode reaction didn't record, so wanted to get my thoughts down before we moved on to the 3rd episode because there was a lot to unpack here, and wrap that up, and then we'll move on to episode 3. A couple main things I guess I want to get into. First thing is Loki. Still very interested in his character and what's going on. I'm not really sure we fully know what he's up to at this point. Obviously, in that first episode, we talked a ton about breaking down his psyche and why he's done what he's done. Started to see him turn a corner a little bit, gain a little bit of perspective that he didn't have from the years after the first Avengers film, since he'd been taken out of that timeline. Don't know that I fully expected him to turn good. That's not Loki's style, but I'm not really sure I truly believe what he's up to. He's mentioned that he's there to take over the TVA. And I don't know if that's his ultimate end game, if that's what he's truly up to, or if he's just saying that to truly help the TVA and take down this variant, this other Loki that he's chasing. So really interested to see what happens there. See if we get some kind of insight as what he's actually up to. We do see him follow the female Loki there at the end of the episode, so again, don't know if he's going to try and stop her or try and still partner with her. One thing we do definitely know about him is he has a huge chip on his shoulder. It was very funny to see when they were showing all the Loki variants that they'd been tracking and chasing there early in the episode, just the look on his face. That was interesting as well to see that there was that many Loki variants, and apparently was the most common variant they'd found, messing with the timeline. One thing we do know, again, he wants to be the Loki. And the other major development is the sacred timeline, of course. I don't know that we can say it's destroyed by any means, although there were quite a few branches off of that timeline in that final footage. But at this point, anything can happen. I honestly have no clue where they go from here. And really, it's wide open. Past, present, future, they could really go anywhere with this. And obviously we've seen some talk in the introduction to the TVA, about these alternate timelines, but this is our first real experience, with the multiverse. Spider-Man coming up, Doctor Strange next year. Do they have this wrapped up? There's only 4 more episodes to go, so I'm not sure how much of this timeline mess they can fix. So it's going to be a wild ride to get to the end. I can't believe we're only getting 6 episodes of this series. So looking forward to episode 3 and where we go from here, finding out what Loki's up to, seeing what Mobius has got up his sleeves. Are we going to see more of the TVA and what their powers and what they can do, and ready for the ride. Until then, I will see you guys on the next episode, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.